What if I told you that the reason you're not her top priority isn't about her at all, but about how you're living your life? You're busting your butt trying to impress her and fit into her world, but here's the deal. It's not working. You're getting ignored, pushed aside, and treated like an afterthought. The truth is, you don't need her approval. You need to validate yourself. Here's a hard truth. If you keep acting like you're disposable, that's how people will treat you. Now, picture turning the tables completely, not by playing games. Games aren't about pretending to be someone else. It's about embracing a mindset that's been strong for over 2,000 years. Stoicism. It's all about mastering your emotions, staying steady, and putting yourself first. When you become the guy you're meant to be, she'll see that you're the one she should want to hold on to. Today, I'm going to share something that could totally change how you view relationships. How to make sure you're always the priority, never just an option, and I won't sugarcoat it. This message is for guys who are tired of being the second choice. We're not talking about tricks or manipulation. We're diving into the mindset and philosophy that can turn you into the kind of man every woman appreciates. And guess what? You can do this without chasing, begging, or changing who you are for anyone else. You've been misled and told to always be nice, always available, always considerate. How's that working out for you? You're getting ignored, undervalued, and feeling like an afterthought. It's time for a change. From being her second choice to being her main guy. And just to be clear, this isn't about being a jerk. That's just weak. It's about valuing yourself more. Women aren't attracted to guys who are always hanging around waiting for them. They want someone who's living life on his own terms. Why? Because they naturally respect men who respect themselves. That's what we're diving into today. How to stop being an option and start being someone she can't imagine losing. First up, let's figure out why you always end up as the backup. You're not a priority because you're acting like you're not. She knows you'll always be there. Even if she cancels, reschedules, or disappears for days, you're just waiting around. You've shown her that you're her safety net, her backup plan. If you really valued yourself, would you put up with that kind of treatment? Guys who know their worth don't stick around for someone who treats them like a backup option. The problem here isn't her, it's you. By always being available, you're giving her all the control. Let's put it this way, you're her fallback. She's probably got her sights set on someone else, someone she thinks is a big deal, and that guy probably isn't even paying her any mind. When he doesn't come through, she turns to you because she knows you'll be there waiting. And the tough part is, you let her do this. You let yourself be treated like an afterthought because you're scared of losing her. But the truth is, the second you let her ignore your time, you've already lost. Women don't respect guys who are always available. Respect comes from being a little hard to get. When something's rare, it's valued. You're always texting her back right away, calling first, and saying yes to everything she wants. How can she respect you if you don't respect your own time? Stop being a pushover. If she's not making you a priority, show her you have a life outside of her. The moment you do, you're not just an option anymore. You're someone she actually wants to pursue. Plus, if you're always playing second fiddle in your relationships, it's probably messing with other parts of your life too, like at work, with friends, and even with family. You probably put everyone else's needs ahead of your own. You've been taught that being nice means being easygoing, accommodating, and always putting yourself last. But that way of thinking isn't earning you respect, it's making you invisible. Being too available and too eager to please might seem like the way to get what you want. But let's be real, it's not working, is it? In relationships, the saying, "nice guys finish last," often holds true. But it's not because kindness is a weakness, it's because you're just too available. Being too nice and overly accommodating can come off as a sign that you don't respect yourself. If you don't see your own worth, how can you expect her to? Now let's talk about something really important: emotional detachment. Before you start thinking it means you shouldn't care, let me explain. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you don't let someone else's reactions or actions dictate how you feel. The harsh reality hits when she figures out that she can make you anxious, jealous, or desperate just by ignoring your texts or bailing on plans. She's got the upper hand. But when you're emotionally detached, you don't let her little tests or mind games get to you. So, if she suddenly goes cold, no more sweet messages, just short replies, most guys would freak out, overthinking every word, replaying the last chat, and wondering what they did wrong. But not you. Why? Because you get that her behavior says more about her than it does about you. Detachment is about keeping your cool and staying confident, no matter what. If she doesn't reply to your text, no big deal, you've got your own stuff going on. If she bails at the last minute, that's all right, you've got other plans. You're not thrown off because your happiness doesn't depend on her. This is exactly what women find attractive. They want someone who's steady and self-assured, someone who doesn't get rattled easily. The real kicker is that emotional detachment isn't just about dealing with her. It's really about managing yourself. When you stop looking for approval from others, you focus on what really matters: your goals, passions, and purpose. Women are naturally attracted to men with a clear mission. A guy who knows his path and has a purpose isn't easily swayed, and that's a strong trait. Next up, setting boundaries that earn respect. Here's the deal about boundaries. If you don't set them, she will, and her boundaries might not be in your best interest. A lot of folks think that setting boundaries is just being rude or controlling, but it's really about respecting yourself. It's important to let people know that you value your time and won't say yes to things that don't fit with your values. Picture this. She keeps texting you at 11 p.m., asking to hang out last minute. If you always drop everything to meet her, you're basically letting her call the shots. But if you say, "Sorry, I'm busy tonight, but let's plan something for tomorrow," you're setting a boundary. It shows that your time is valuable, and you won't just drop everything at the last minute. Setting boundaries isn't just about protecting yourself. It also helps establish respect. She also earns your respect, but she might push the limits to see what she can get away with. If you let her take advantage of you, she'll lose respect for you, and once that respect is gone, attraction usually fades too. Boundaries aren't just for last-minute plans. They're important in every part of your life. Set boundaries around your time, energy, and emotional investment. Be clear about what you will and won't put up with. If you're dating someone who's still checking out other options while keeping you around, it's time to draw the line. You might say something like, "I'm not okay with this. I'm not into being just another option. It's either we're exclusive or I'm out." If she can't respect that, then I'm done. No arguments, no drama, just a clear understanding of what I deserve. And another thing, actions speak louder than words. These days, everyone talks a lot, but doesn't do much. You could spend hours texting, trying to convince her you're the right guy, but honestly, words don't mean much. It's the actions that matter. You can make real progress by showing her how serious you are and how much you care. But for her, it's just talk. Women have heard those promises over and over, "I'm different," or "I'm serious about us," more times than they can count. What she's really thinking is, "Let's see if he can prove it." Telling her you care doesn't mean much compared to actually showing it through your actions. When your actions match your words, it says a lot about your integrity and confidence. You don't need to over-explain or keep reassuring her. The guys women are really into aren't the ones constantly texting her with compliments or trying to prove themselves. They're the ones who say what they mean and follow through without needing anyone's approval. Think about it. Those who have that quiet confidence and don't let their emotions get tossed around by others are usually more appealing. When you stick to your own values and make choices that respect your time and energy, you turn into someone who's genuinely attractive. It's not just about what you say, but what you actually do that matters. Number 5, master the art of being mysterious. Women don't want a guy who lays everything out on the table. If she knows exactly what you're thinking and what you'll do next, she'll get bored quickly. That's why being a bit mysterious is so effective. Sadly, a lot of guys these days have lost that touch. We're in an age where everyone's always on their phones, sharing every little thought and feeling. If she can guess your every move, you'll just end up being another face in the crowd. Listen, man, the minute she can put you in a box, you've lost her interest. I'm not saying you should play games or lie, but you need to stop being so predictable. Being predictable is a total relationship killer, especially early on. You've got guys texting her good morning and good night every single day, updating her every hour on what they're up to. That's not romantic, it's just boring and suffocating. If you're always around, she won't get the chance to miss you or wonder what you're doing. Think about it. You're killing her curiosity, which is what makes her interested in you. Imagine she texts you, "Hey, what are you up to tonight?" Most guys would spill all the details, hoping she'll want to join. But here's the deal. Don't give everything away. Instead of saying, "Oh, I'm just watching TV and chilling, want to come over?" try saying something like, "I've got a few things happening, might head out later. What about you?" Now you've created some intrigue. She's left wondering. What you're doing right now is perfect. That uncertainty will keep her thinking about you. You've sparked her curiosity, and that's crucial. You want to be the guy who's always on her mind, the one she's trying to figure out, what you're up to and how you feel throughout the day. If you become too predictable, she'll forget about you. Just remember, attraction thrives on mystery. She's not daydreaming about the guy who texts her every 5 minutes. She's dreaming about the one who keeps her guessing. It's about this guy who's tough to pin down, you know. He's doing his own thing and isn't always there when she wants him. Number 6, reclaim your time. One of the biggest mistakes guys make in relationships is always shifting their lives around to fit hers. A guy who doesn't respect his own time will never be respected by a woman, plain and simple. If you're always available, always waiting for her to reach out, and constantly changing your plans for her, she's going to start taking you for granted. Once that happens, you're done. In the dating world, women are often used to guys going all out to impress them. They have guys queuing up, ready to give up everything just for a shot at their attention. But here's the reality. Women don't really respect men who are always available. They respect guys who are driven, who have goals, and who aren't afraid to say, "Sorry, I can't make it. I've got other things going on." You've got to show her that your time is just as important as hers, if not more. If you're always available, it just sends the message that her time is worth more than yours. The minute you start putting yourself first, something amazing happens. She starts valuing your time, respecting you, and realizes she can't just expect you to drop everything for her. When you take back your time, you take back your power. Don't be scared to make her put in some effort for your attention. make her earn it. A guy who values his own time is someone women want to be around. Now, about the reciprocity rule. That's where a lot of guys mess up. You're giving her all your time, attention, and energy. But what are you getting in return? You're just getting a few half-hearted texts back. Maybe she's still seeing other guys. If you're not getting as much as you're putting in, you're being played. And honestly, it's your fault. You're showing her that it's fine to give you the bare minimum, that you'll settle for the scraps. And guess what? She'll keep giving you those scraps as long as you keep accepting them. Here's a tough truth most guys don't want to face. Women are really good at managing their effort. They know exactly how much to give to keep you around. She's not too busy to text you back or make plans. She's just focused on someone else, someone she prioritizes. The reason you're only getting half-hearted effort is that you've let her know you're fine with it. You've shown her you'll take whatever little bit she gives, and she's happy to keep doing that. It's time to stop being so easygoing. If she's not making an effort, then you need to step back. It's really that simple. Most guys think you've got to keep pushing, putting in the effort and chasing after her, right? Well, actually that's the wrong move if she's not giving you the same vibe back. It's time to let her feel your absence. Women respect guys who stand up for themselves and won't stick around if they're not getting the same energy in return. This is where you take control. So, let's say you've been seeing a girl for a few weeks. At first, she's all in, texting you, making plans, showing interest. But as time passes, her effort starts to fade. It starts to fade, and suddenly you're the one always reaching out, always suggesting dates, always taking the initiative. And what do you get back? A couple of half-hearted replies, and maybe some excuses about how busy she is. Most guys would just try even harder, texting more, trying to see her more, doing whatever it takes to spark that initial interest again. But here's the real move. Pull back. Stop texting her, stop making plans, and let her feel your absence. If she's interested, she'll notice the change and start reaching out. If she's not putting in the effort, she'll just fade away. And honestly, that's what you want. A woman who doesn't match your energy isn't going to make you a priority. Let's be real. Why would you want to put your time into someone who just sees you as an option? Number 8. Turning rejection into strength. Rejection can hit hard, especially from someone you really like. But what if, instead of taking it as a loss, you turned it into a chance to grow? Power isn't just about pushing forward, it's about changing how you think so you can see rejection as a chance to bounce back stronger, tougher, and more self-aware. Grasping this shift can totally change how you handle relationships and chase your personal goals for the rest of your life. The first step in flipping rejection into power is realizing that it's often not about you. When someone turns you down, it usually says more about their own needs or situation than it does about your value. Getting this difference is key. A lot of people take rejection personally and think, "What's wrong with me?" But really, the rejection might not have anything to do with them at all. If you can separate your self-worth from getting rejected, you'll start to see it as a chance to learn instead of a hit to your character. Rejection shows you where you can grow. When you get rejected, it's a great time to think about how you approached things, how you acted, and what your personal goals are. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? I might be coming on too strong, or maybe I'm not being assertive enough. Did I put too much emotion into this without checking if they felt the same way? This whole thing isn't about beating yourself up, it's about getting better. By looking at each rejection, you can learn how to deal with future situations and stop falling into the same traps that don't do you any good. Plus, rejection can help you set boundaries and not settle for less than you deserve when someone doesn't recognize your worth. It's not a loss, it's a blessing. Think about it. If you're into someone who doesn't feel the same way, pursuing that relationship would probably just leave you feeling unhappy, unappreciated, or emotionally drained. Rejection here is actually a way to protect yourself from wasting time and energy on someone who isn't right for you. If you see it as a form of protection, you can move on without any hard feelings, knowing there's someone else out there who will appreciate you. Rejection can really help you get back in touch with who you are. A lot of people get lost in relationships or activities that don't really benefit them, constantly chasing someone else's approval. But when you face rejection, it's a chance to refocus on yourself. Instead of looking for validation from others, take that time and energy to invest in your own life. Follow your passions, learn new skills, work on your fitness, or explore personal development. When you focus on your own growth, you not only get better at handling rejection, but also boost your self-worth, which makes you more appealing to others. One of the most powerful things about rejection is that it can actually motivate you. Think of it like a fire. When someone says no, you can either let it burn you or use it to spark a new determination. A lot of successful people have stories about rejection that turned their lives around. Getting rejected for a job, going through a breakup, or not being picked for something can really sting. But instead of letting that get you down, use it as motivation to work harder and show your worth. Not to the person who turned you down, but to yourself. Think of rejection as fuel to drive you toward your goals, not a roadblock. Having a Stoic mindset is super important for dealing with rejection. Stoicism reminds us that we can't control what others do or feel, only how we respond to it. Experience rejection. Instead of feeling defeated or bitter, adopt a Stoic mindset by focusing on what you can control, your reaction. Acknowledge the situation, accept it, and put your energy into positive actions. Stoicism helps you stay emotionally detached from what others think or decide, giving you a clearer view of your own path and purpose. So, rejection turns into a stepping stone instead of a stumbling block. Another way to take back your power from rejection is to remember that it's just part of life. Everyone's journey involves rejection at some point, and most of us go through it multiple times. It's important to remember that you're not alone, which can help you not take it too personally. Whether it's in dating, your career, or other personal goals, rejection is something we all face. Knowing this can give you the courage to deal with it better, understanding that every no gets you closer to a yes. Rejection is just part of the process. It's a way to filter out what's not right for you and eventually guide you to the right opportunities and people. I really appreciate that rejection helps build resilience. Every time you deal with rejection and come back from it, you strengthen your mindset. Over time, you start to fear hearing no less because you realize it doesn't take away from your worth or potential. It's just a way to redirect you. With each rejection, you're getting better at bouncing back, toughening up, and getting used to the discomfort of not always getting what you want. This resilience will help you in all areas of life. Take risks, chase your dreams, and keep pushing forward even when things get tough. A key part of turning rejection into strength is holding on to your self-respect. When someone turns you down, it's easy to feel like you're not good enough, but that's a slippery slope. Self-respect is about recognizing your worth, no matter if others see it or not. It's a promise to yourself not to settle for anything less than what you deserve. When you have self-respect, you're empowered to walk away from people and situations that don't help you grow. Holding on to people out of fear or insecurity can be tough, but when you value yourself, rejection isn't as scary. You realize your worth isn't based on what others think or decide. Finally, turning rejection into strength means adopting a mindset of abundance. Just because one person or opportunity didn't pan out doesn't mean there aren't tons of others out there. When you see life as full of possibilities, rejection doesn't hurt as much. You get that there are plenty of other chances for love and success. Happiness comes from changing the way you think. Instead of feeling like you're not good enough after a rejection, try to see it as a chance to find something that fits better with what you really want. Basically, turning rejection into something positive is all about shifting your mindset. Use every no as a way to grow and improve yourself, rather than taking it personally. Treat it like a lesson and a step towards becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Be the best version of yourself. Accept rejection as just a part of life. It's a lesson in resilience, self-respect, and appreciating what you have. Every time you get rejected, you have a choice. Let it bring you down, or use it to lift you up. Choose to let it motivate you and lead you to a life full of meaningful relationships and opportunities.